Hey, it's Justin Moore from Trending Family, and here are this week's top 5 trending news in advertising and influencer marketing. So Axios highlighted that Facebook is beating Snapchat on its own invention, Stories. Snapchat has a total of 191 million daily active users, where Facebook's platforms have close to 1 billion users just for its stories, right? So that's 150 million for Facebook stories, 300 million for Instagram stories, 450 million for WhatsApp status updates, which is kind of like stories. And Facebook has shown all along through the acquisition of Instagram, WhatsApp, and recently TBH that all they care about is user attention, right? So they had no problem basically copying Snapchat stories on Instagram and Facebook. And of course, more stories means more inventory for ads. So traditional board games are staging a comeback. According to the NPD Group, while the general US toy market grew just 1.5% between March and February, the board games category grew by 8%. People are experiencing gadget fatigue, and they're especially conscious of how long their children are spending on devices. Execs at companies like Hasbro are watching social media very closely. They saw all the success that games like Pie Face were having, and they ended up licensing it from Rocket Games. And they're actually using that to inform their product development. Jonathan Berkowitz, who's the SVP of marketing at Hasbro Gaming, talked about how they're designing games that are quick, easy, visual, and fun, right? Games you can explain in like 3 seconds. And so why does this matter, right? Like brands like Hasbro and Spin Master, they're planning their new product development and design with social media in mind and the potential for virality. So of course, we have to talk about Mary Meeker's Internet Trends Report. Mary Meeker is a partner at Kleiner Perkins, which is a very large venture capital firm. Her report is eagerly anticipated every year by everyone in tech and advertising and consumer behavior. And some of the highlights: adults spend an average of 5.8 hours per day with digital media. 3.3 of those hours are via mobile devices. 6% of all e-commerce referrals now come via social media like Facebook and Twitter. She also said that direct-to-consumer retail is booming, fueled by the impact of social media as a source for referrals, and that shopping is increasingly entertainment. One of the key takeaways, she had a quote in there from Hal Varian, who is chief economist at Google, and he said that we've seen how technology can make online shopping more efficient with lower prices, more selection, and increased convenience. And he thinks that we are about to see the same thing happen to offline shopping. A new study is out from the Pew Research Center saying that YouTube is the preferred platform for today's teens and that Facebook usage continues to fall. 85% of teens between 13 and 17 say that they use YouTube. Behind that, Instagram at 72%, Snapchat at 69%. Also, Pew said that 95% of teens own or can access a smartphone. That's as opposed to 73% in 2015, which is a huge jump in just a couple of years. And that 45% say that they're online on a near constant basis. Facebook has tried to combat the decline in usage in younger demographic by coming out with Facebook Watch, which has kind of been a mixed success. I think the jury's still out on that one. And YouTube knows that any brand that's interested in long-form content, that's where you need to be. And they've shown that in their shift in their analytics focus from views to watch time. And Pinterest is rolling out a new video ad format. It's called Promoted Video at Max Width. It's going to span across the app's 2-column feed, and users can see it right when they're browsing in stream. It's already being tested by some big brands like American Express and Chevrolet and Kohl's. Pinterest, I think, flies under the radar a little bit. You always hear stuff about YouTube and Instagram and Facebook. Don't get me wrong, Pinterest had close to $500 million in revenue in 2017, and they recently doubled down on creators also, right? They held their first event specifically for content creators to help build and grow their businesses on the platform. So I think you may see Pinterest starting to grab a larger ad share from some of these social competitors.